So today I'm going to do something very exciting, which is a site audit. Basically, I'm going to open a website and I'm going to go through the website and find things that I myself would improve. And it's going to be from the perspective of a gambler, a visitor that comes to your website, also a casino affiliate marketer, such as myself, and an SEO expert, such as also myself, self-proclaimed. And I got a site sent to me from one of the community members, and he asked me basically if I could have a look and see if there were things that I could improve or if he could improve. But I basically said that if I were to do a site audit for everyone that sends me one, I'm not going to have that much time over for anything else. But I came up with the idea that I'm going to do a site audit for him for free if I was allowed to share it on YouTube, which he agreed on. And this site audit is not going to be super overly technical, because I remember when myself got site audits when I started out, because I wanted to find flaws and things that I could optimize with my own SEO. And what I got from these site audit people were basically just super long list of technical SEO aspects and things I absolutely did not understand, and felt like this was not something that I could organically incorporate on my website. And I didn't really get the feedback that I was looking for. It was way too complex and ambiguous. So that's why I want to do a site audit that is more general in terms of concrete steps that you can pretty easily improve on. I also decided that the next 2 people that joins the community from the day this video was launched are going to get a free site audit, such as this one. So if you're quick enough and you want to join the community, this might be a good opportunity for you to do so. But watch the video first. I have seen this website before, but just barely. I just entered the homepage because I wanted to wait to go through everything with you instead of preparing anything, because I basically haven't prepared anything except for giving my Ahrefs header code to the owner so I can do a site health audit through my own Ahrefs account. So without further ado, let's go into the website and see what it looks like. So here we have the website, and I know that he bought this domain, and I told him immediately that I love the domain name. It's perfectly semi-branded with the word bonus, but also monsieur, which is Mr. in French. I mean, this website is in French, so it's going to be a bit harder for me to do a review on the content, but I'm still going to do my best. So the first thing I see here is something that is moving around, I think. Yeah, it's basically moving here. I mean, it's cool and all, but like I usually say, I don't really know if this is a video that has to load every time you enter the website. It might cause the website to load slower. Let's see here. So I basically assume that this website loads pretty slow. And this might be one of the reasons why it loads slow, because this thing is moving, and that requires it to be a video or maybe a GIF or something. I'm not really expert in this stuff. But other than that, it seems to be just a black background, which I kind of enjoy. I like the logo. You don't have to have the name of your website as the logo. This is actually kind of fine. It's a nice logo with a man with a pipe and with a spade that he's in inside. Obviously, I don't have to explain what this is, but this is what it is. So just from a UX and UI standpoint, you enter this website and you find a menu. And now here the menu items are white instead of black, which I probably would change to black. To have everything the same, I think it would look better. And then we have a comparison table. And this is one of the most important things at a casino comparison website. And wait, let's go back to the normal one. Yeah, here. So I think it's very important as a casino affiliate marketer to know what a person is looking for when they come to a comparison table, because I can say immediately from my years of experience, I mean, I'm not a gambler, I never really gambled myself, but you only get information about the welcome bonus, that it's 200%. And I guess this is the maximum deposit you can do for this 200%. But it could also be the maximum bonus you can win from the casino, because sometimes they have a cap on how much you can win from the bonus. So it's a bit unclear. I guess it's 200% up to 1,000 euro, but I'm not really sure. But I guess I have to assume that. He has it in both euro and dollars, and I don't really know why he has the dollar sign here, because this is a French website, and in France they use the euro. So I would remove this, and you can have the euro sign after the 1,000, but the dollar sign has to go before. That's just like how it is. So small things like this makes a website look less professional, basically. Has 2 buttons here. I guess this one says like get a bonus or whatever. Maybe I can know. So you just assume that it says like get the bonus or claim the bonus. And I see here that he's also using pretty links, because down in the left corner, you see that it's like the pretty link text, which is great. So to not use the normal tracking links. And this is, yeah, if you see it down in the left corner, you can also see that this is a URL for the casino. So this is probably like a review. Not gonna go here now, but maybe later. And here's some information about the casino. I mean, I guess usually this information is very redundant and just very general. Oh, this information, I'm trying to learn. Oops. Yeah, so I mean, it's an online betting site that offers diverse range of entertainment options. I mean, if you're a gambler and you see this text, it doesn't really give you any value or any insights in what this casino is about. You can like insert random casino here, and it's going to be like probably like the same for all of them, like horoscopes. This doesn't make sense for me at all to have this text. I mean, I had websites where I have like bullet points where you can write like, can I do like this? The first bullet point could be over 200 online slots, because it gives more like what they actually offers. Crypto deposits, for example, if they have that, it gives them like more information on what they actually have. Another option could be 2 days withdrawal time, or like, let's say you get free spins, and the free spins on Starburst slots. So you give like more concrete information on what you actually get if you claim this bonus from the casino. And this one is probably like average like ranking. Let's see what it says. Oh, okay, let's do like this. Like overall ranking. And for me, this never makes sense, because I feel like people always like see through this. This is not, I mean, unless you're like a really reputable site and you have this, like people can vote themselves and stuff like that, then it makes sense. But a guy like this that you started out, like he doesn't know like 4.68, like what? So this one doesn't make sense. You're just like taking up a lot of real estate from like information you could give that you can have here instead. So I would change this also, because a lot of people care about free spins. They also care about to know if the casino offers free spins or not. So having like a free spins tab here instead, and telling them the amount of free spins you get, or if you don't get any free spins, you can just put like the line. But I'm actually a proponent. I mean, I changed my mind about this throughout my years, that I like to have less information in my comparison table compared to more information. And the reason for this is that I want people to be more eager to click here and actually like go to the casino to maybe find out more at the casino, because then you actually do what you're supposed to. You get people funneled from your website to the casino. But you have to find like the balance here. I would add wagering requirements, because this is something important for people. And I would also add payment methods. I know this is like, if you have a lot of casinos, that this is like a lot of information you kind of have to find before you can add a casino, but I think it's worth it, because payment methods, especially in France, I've been doing the French market, it's very important for people to know what payment methods you can use in this country. And I'm not going to say anything about these casinos, because I never worked with them in this market. I actually worked with Lucky 31 in the French market, and they worked pretty well. Let's see if I know any of the other ones. Nope. I think I know this one, but I don't remember anything. So let's see how this one looks on, well, it's not like the worst ever, but yeah, it kind of works. I mean, obviously I'm kind of perfectionist when it comes to like this lining things. I would have all of these in like one line instead of like, yeah, you basically have to create like a responsive version of your comparison table, because you have to keep in mind, this is something that I see a lot. And I mean, I did this a lot by myself in the beginning, that when you build a website, you're building it on desktop, because this is where we have like WordPress and stuff. But most of our visitors are coming from phone. So we have to actually see a website from how it looks on phone first, and then care about the desktop version. This is also true for Google. I mean, they are indexing a website from mobile first, and it has been like this for like 10 years or less or more. It's not the worst. I like this. Maybe obviously I would remove this text and add like bullet points with actually concrete information. But other than that, looks kind of okay. I like the dark color. I mean, people like dark mode nowadays. So I'm actually like leaning more and more towards like dark mode websites myself than having like a white background. And like, so dark background and white text. I think people prefer that in terms of like user experience. So let's go to the next step, which I realized here that they have like a language kind of thing here, switch. So let's see what happens here. I know this plugin is like a translator plugin. I know about it, but so let's see if it works. And I know, you see, it even changes the, you know, name of the website to like Mr. Bonus. So that playing remains a pleasure. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. So yeah, you see here, it kind of creates it. But that's also the problem, because we don't want translated content on a website. We want like original content. And this doesn't create original content. It creates like, they always use like a translation app such as Google Translate. So I know this guy asked me about this translation thing, and I told him that I wouldn't use a translation app. I would create your different geos on different subdirectories and have original content. I don't really know how it works, but I feel like it might be hard for you to hreflang together these websites. Hreflangs is basically when you tell Google which page or which section of your website is targeting different countries. And you see here, the menu is still like in French. So these like plugins are always going to have like problems with them. And then one day you want to remove it and it's just going to break everything. So try to keep like the plugins at like a minimum, because it's just going to mess things up. I don't think we're going to use this more. We're just going to keep it at French, because it seems like it was built for French first and then kind of added like this plugin. I would remove this like immediately, and I would just like focus on French, and then maybe I will do an English one later in the future. I don't like this because this is like a H1. Let's inspect this. This is an H1, and this is like not good at all for like SEO, because this is the keyword you want to rank for. I don't think so, because who searches for like Monsieur Bonus? People want to search for like the actual keywords. Let's say it could be, you know, this actually is the homepage, so maybe it doesn't want to rank this one anyway. It also doesn't have any content, so it's hard to rank this one, or it's not finished yet. I'm not really sure. But in your H1 or in your title tags, you want to have like a keyword. I mean, obviously, this is also subjective. This is like what I would have done. I would try to rank my homepage for like a keyword, maybe probably like casino in Ning. This is like only casino in French. So that's something I would change. And also, before we move forward, I'm going to show you the site health tool I'm going to use. This is Ahrefs, and here I got the code that I added on this guy's website, which allows me to be able to run like a health score kind of thing. So we're gonna do this. Meanwhile, we are doing like other things. And this is something I use like a lot, like all the time for new websites. And also like they do like automatic like crawlings like not, once in a while. I don't really know when. But it gives very like good advice, like SEO advice and like other things. So you see it started here. So let's let it do its thing, and let's go back here. Like a problem I have is that I don't have access to the Google Search Console, and Google gives usually also very good advice on what you can fix on your website, mainly about Core Web Vitals, which is like their own suggestions on what you can improve. And obviously we're going to listen to Google because they are like the first-hand source, but we can also use other tools such as Ahrefs. So this website is protected by HTTPS, which stands for like secure. But I want to test if it redirects the www version of the website. Yeah, perfect. This is something I usually test. A lot of like the SSL you get from hosting providers usually do this automatically. Or if you're using Cloudflare, it also helps you with this. So usually this is not a problem. It's basically just like canonical redirects. And like I said, I cannot talk for these casinos, but when I was doing the French market, I worked with like a pretty nice network that helped me like adding casinos. So in case anyone is working in the French market and they need like a good network, you can just reach out to me and I can hook you up with them because they're super nice guys. And I also want to promote them, but not like officially. So write to me and maybe we can get something working there. And another thing I want to quickly mention is that because he's using pretty links, these buttons are no follow by default. And you want like links going out to casinos to be like no follow. Basically, Google is not like following the links, because that means that every time you get like a backlink, this casino is going to benefit from like you getting a backlink. So you want to like basically just keep all of the link use you're getting from a link on your own website. You don't want to have a lot of like do follow links here, because basically it's going to be so much. So let's find a page with some content. Yeah, this is not good either, because you see this one, when it's like this hashtag thing, it goes back to the homepage. This is not good either to have. You want this to be like, because this is basically in terms of like building a site structure, this is one of the links that are going to get past linked use. And if it's like this, it basically just creates a loop of linked use, which is not good. Let's go here and see if we have content. Yeah, here we have content. The first thing I can see here is that we do not have the comparison table, and we want a comparison table on every website, even if you use like an informational post. So I can pretty easily see here that the keyword is, which is kind of like a long tail keyword, which is good if you're starting out, because just trying to rank for like best casinos or casinos with roulette, it's like harder because the search volumes are probably higher. But this is like Lingnabit means live, so this is like live roulette. So this could be a good keyword to try to rank for. It's pretty long, which is good. But I see here also, I mean, it's also in the URL, which is good. This is a short URL, and I would probably just like do something similar if I were to create this page. I see that the keyword, like this one, is 1, like 2 times, 3 times. Here's a bit different, but that's all, like, so the keyword is used, but I would caution people to use like too much actually, because it's not good either. I would actually have way more content on a page like this. I mean, the casinos are here, but there are no like really buttons on it. I don't know if this page is finished, but this doesn't, oh, here's a button. So I would have like a button and, or like a click here thing or whatever. This doesn't really, yeah. I just assume that it's not finished yet, this page. But if I were to have this page, I would take all of the content and I would put it like in the middle, and I would have more like negative space on the sides here, because the eyes are always like moving in the middle of the screen. Like reading this text from left to right is like very long. So this is something I would do. I'd like put it like here in the middle. I usually use like 900 pixels in width. So if I was a visitor and came to this site, I would not really understand what's going on. I don't think I would really trust it. There's no like images. I mean, you don't have to have like so many images all the time, but I think it could be good to have some more. I mean, this one is completely unnecessary. I think I would move this one like down a bit, because this is like above the fold, which is basically everything that you see once you enter a website. You want like text here, you want like a call to action, you want it to be easier. But I mean, I think I would have like this introduction text like here, then I would have like the table under it. What I would add also is a table of content, because it also helps with Google crawling, but it's also pretty nice for a person to come and they can just click and get scrolled down to wherever they want to go. I like these tables if they had like buttons. And here are also like the payment methods, which is great. And here's a FAQ. I guess this is like a structured data FAQ, but I'm not sure. We could actually check that by going to this markup tools, schema markup tool, and just run this URL. So we actually don't have an FAQ markup, which I would have added to this FAQ. A lot of plugins have this, like if you're using Yoast SEO, you have like this FAQ that you can just add on your site. So yeah, it's not here. You have the organization here, which is great. You can add. You have some other structured data here, which is pretty nice. I mean, I would try to add the author here also, because this is pretty strong when it comes to your structured data. This is a bit more advanced maybe, so we're not gonna stay here for too long. Then we go down to the footer. The footer is very empty. I mean, you have your copyright thing. Maybe I would change this to like in French, but I guess it kind of works. They only have one like link down here. This means, yeah, I mean, this is pretty nice to have like a number like this, mainly for trust. We're building trust with Google. I mean, obviously it's good for like a visitor. I would add the tell URL here so people can, it's actually clickable. It's going to help with SEO also, I think. But I would have way more information here. I would have like an affiliate disclosure. I would have maybe even a logo in the middle to make it a bit nicer. I would have a lot of interlinks here, because you have the footer on every page basically. So if you have an interlink here, it's going to pass a lot of link use. Basically, you just put your best pages here, the ones that you want to rank the most, and just experiment around a bit. I mean, I'm not saying that you should go overboard, but like have more links in the footer. think this is pretty important. Have other links here like contact us, about us, maybe like responsible gambling, also your like cookie and terms and condition and stuff like this. Just add it down here. It couldn't hurt. Also, maybe like I did this way before, but I also added my sitemap URL to my sitemap in my footer. I'm not actually doing it anymore. Or maybe I do. I don't think it's necessary, but I did it before. So maybe that's like an option for you. We can actually go to this website's sitemap to see what URLs you are using. So actually a lot of, I don't really know. I don't understand. You have the author sitemap, which is great. I don't know what this is. Don't know what this is, don't know what this is, don't know what this is. This is all of the, no, I don't know what this is either. So basically the only sitemaps I'm using is the post and the page and the author one. You don't need to submit more than that. So let's go to the pages. So we see here, I mean, what are these pages even? Elementary. So this is a page that is indexed, which is not a good thing. This page should be put, if this is like an experimental page that you use like using to make like basically see what things looks like, put it at no index, no follow. You can do this in SEO Yoast plugin, because now you are unnecessary like crawling this, and you like basically just take a lot of crawl budget. Google is not going to understand this page, and they're not going to understand the URL. So I would like 301 this to the homepage, and then I would put it as no follow or 404, something like this. I would not keep this. I see here are two of the same ones. These are two different pages with the same, almost the same URL, which is not a good thing either. This is something that I would probably take this one, because I think this one is the one that is wrong, and maybe change this URL and redirect this one to this. But other than that, the website doesn't have too many URLs. It's missing a lot of necessary pages. Let's make a list of the pages I would add. I would have an about us page. I would have a contact us. I would have a blog section. I would add a term and conditions. I would have like a cookie policy page. I would have probably like a responsible gambling page. I would have advertisement, I don't know how it spells, disclosure page. And then I would finally have a author page, basically like using the name of the person that is like the author. Because I can see here also that there's no author, there's no information about the company or the people behind this website. And when we're building websites for SEO, and we are in this niche that we are in, it's very important for Google to see that there are trust in your website. And this website doesn't really give you like that type of trust, because you don't know who's behind the company. There's no company information. There's no like email you can contact. There's no author, or there's basically no credentials that makes a visitor be able to trust the information on the website. So this is something that I would like 100% add. There is an author, because you have to have an author, but this is like the admin author. So this doesn't really hold any like value. So I would like create a new user in WordPress and like name it something cool, or even your own name or your author's name, and then build on that author profile, even like start sending backlinks to it and mention it like in guest posts and stuff. That's something I usually do. I had an idea of going through the like keyword cannibalization and keyword density and stuff, but we don't have enough content on this website to actually know that. But what we're going to do, just like to show you what I usually do. Usually when I check competitors on the top 10 to see like their distribution of like H1s and H2s and H3s, basically the importance of the titles. We have this tool, this website here, that is actually pretty nice, that I use. This one is also great if you want to basically like steal headings from competitors. So it has 1 H1, 6 H2, 8 H3. And so, I mean, I think this distribution is great. One thing we have to look for is that there is no like H1 and then it's like an H2 and then it's like an H4 and then like an H3, because we want to have it like H1, H2 and then H3 and maybe then back to H2, H2, H3 and then maybe H4. So you don't want to mix them up too much, because it's kind of like fucks up with the site structure. So this one is not finished yet, so we wait a bit more. What we can do actually is we're going to use this. Actually, when we do like site speed tests, you want to find one of the pages on your website that has the most content and information, because if you only run it on like homepage and you don't really have that much information on your homepage, it's not going to be like an accurate test. But let's use the homepage here because it has the table. We can use like Google's own page speed insight. So let's use this. I'm sorry, it's in Swedish. I actually know that this website has some traffic because I saw it in Ahrefs. So, but if your website doesn't have enough traffic for Google to be able to maybe like run this diagnosis thing, you're not going to see any results here. Then you kind of just like have to wait until you have enough traffic. So right off the bat, this is mobile and it looks actually pretty great with SEO and best practices. But this is mainly, I think, because it's so thin, it's not like enough things on the website. But basically we want to fix like this, wow, I didn't know this. This is like time to first byte. See if I notice this is like cumulative layout shift. This is speed index. This is first contentful paint. This is largest contentful paint. And this is, yeah. and also obviously, okay, you can see them here. I thought I was good knowing them. But so here you have a lot of information on things you can fix. The triangular things are the most important ones. And this is something that Google puts a lot of effort in nowadays. It's the cumulative layout shift, which basically means that if you go to a website and something kind of like jumps around, if you go there and the menu is like jumps down, or there's like a pop-up, or if you could press a menu, some things like move around. I don't really see it too much on the website, but there could be things like, yeah, you see here, you scroll down, and it kind of like something jumped. I don't know what it was. So yeah, stuff like this. I'm not talking about this stuff. I'm just talking about stuff that is like, yeah, just jumping around. I think this is the first thing. If you scroll back a bit and maybe put it in slow motion, you're gonna see what I mean. So some of these things are a bit advanced. Like not even I know all of this stuff. But I would actually just like find the best like cache plugins, and usually they fix a lot of these problems, or using like Cloudflare that is free, and use this. Like this is also mainly because of the hosting. So find like a really good hosting that is going to help you, because this is important. This is loading time. And you see here, Element has the largest drawing of content on Stamford. And this is, I think, okay, this is for the photo, but I think some of these things have something to do with the background movie thing that was like moving around. So, but some of these things we can fix. I mean, use the right sizes. We need to like add width and height for images. And I mean, my developer is doing all of this stuff. I mean, I already have like a template that I'm using for all of my websites. So, and they already give me like 99 or like 96 or 100 on all of these. So, I mean, this looks good. I like it. It probably has a pretty nice, very light theme, because that's important. Try to find a theme, like a WordPress theme that is like light, like this one, I think. And also the one I'm using, GeneratePress. That's by far the best one I've used, because it doesn't have like a lot of unnecessary code. You just basically keep things to the minimum. But I think this one doesn't have that many images, so I don't really know. Let's see here. JPEG. No. It's like this, right? There's one JPEG here. So then I guess rest of them are PNGs, which is not good, because it basically means that the page is going to be more heavy. And we don't want a page that is heavy and PNG files are bigger than normal files. What is this? This is like the Translate Press plugin. So you see the French logo is here. What's this? This is also like the US logo. French logo. So the logo is basically like this plugin makes everything way more heavy, and it's very unnecessary. This plugin. Let's see if we have any CG. We basically have a lot of PNG images, and I mean sometimes you have to use it if you want to have like transparent, like this probably. But like these ones should be JPEG, because they are way lighter. And then you just use a tool, or like use a plugin that is going to basically make the sizes, they're gonna compress it to make it better. I don't remember the one I'm using is called, but you can use like basically, I think, which one you like, because this page is probably very heavy from all of these photos. So let's see if we are finished with the crawl. You see here, it's not yet finished, so we have to wait until it's finished. Maybe I will just like take a break and see when it's finished. Let's see if we can talk about something else. Yeah, I mean, something we can talk about is how it's showing on Google. So basically we go to Google, we go here and we write site, and then we put like this in the research. So you see here all of the indexed pages. We can go down here and there's so many, and this is like really bad actually, because all of the, there's so much content here. You see, like the casinos are, you see here like this, a lot of content, a lot of URLs, which I didn't really see in the sitemap. Where are they hiding? Maybe you have like, I don't know, maybe here. No, these are posts. I have no idea. It confuses me a bit, to be honest. What's this? Casino. So yeah, I'm not really sure what all of these URLs are. I think they are on the website, like here. And they're all created without any content, which I actually don't really recommend, because Google is seeing this whole website as like a thin content website. It's no content on it. So I don't think Google is going to rank this website for basically like anything unless this person adds like content to all of these pages. Here's a page with content. Not enough content, it needs way more. We're not going to go into like how to make the content good, but basically it has a lot of URLs without any content. I mean, it's impossible to rank if you don't have any content. So I would, rather than like just opening up all of the page I want, I would not add them until I have content, and just like when I launch a page, I would add all of the content immediately. But all of them are like indexed. Like I cannot even see. Usually I go down here to see how many are like indexed, but I cannot even see that. I don't know why. Sometimes it says like here. So here it says, do you own Monsieur Bonus? You can get the data from Google. So, I mean, does this mean that it's not connected to Google Webmasters tool? Which I really hope it is. And if it's not, this is something that should be done like immediately. But, so another thing I cannot check is the interlinks, because it basically are no interlinks. And this is like something I have to do once the page has more content. Basically use like linking between your pages, because this is a great way to help Google understand your different pages. So this is something I would do. One thing we can do now is we can actually, because this one is not finished, we're going to go to the Site Explorer, and we're going to add the domain here to see like how it's doing. And you see here, it already have some domain rating. The domain is actually from 2021, I would guess. Yeah, like 2021, somewhere here, which is great, because then that means that it's at age. I'm not going to use the like Wayback Machine kind of thing to see how it looks like, to see if it had content back then. I'm not really sure, because I mean, obviously it had traffic, so maybe it had more content before, and then like it dropped, and then someone bought it. So it's not enough traffic to go on, but at least it has some traffic. It's not like zero. So I think there's some potential actually in this URL, and it has referring domains, which is basically backlinks. So you see here, we have like a Medium link. Let's see if we find, this is a testimonial link, which is great to have, especially this one, because it's pretty strong. But let's see if we have like a normal like backlink. So let's see here. So here we have a backlink, and this looks like a pretty nice backlink. It goes to, I mean, we're obviously not ranking for any keywords on the homepage, so it's not really any point like using a keyword related anchor text. But this is a backlink that this website has. And how did it look? A very weak backlink, but at least it's a backlink. So see if there has any other backlinks. What's this then? So what is this? Let's see here. Here we have the backlink. Let's see if it is a no follow backlink or a do follow. It looks like a do follow backlink, which is great. And let's see. Yeah, this is actually a stronger backlink. So I would like vote for this one. Also because it has like an anchor text that was not like over optimized. It's like basically said visit site. Because that's something I can mention quickly. not going to talk about it too much, but basically you have different types of anchor texts in links. And you don't want to over optimize this, because the anchor text is basically like the clickable text. You want a lot of your links going to the homepage. So if your website is called like Monsieur Monsieur Bonus, you can use this as a branded anchor text. Branded. You can also use like, or any other like different ways to write this. And these are the ones that we want to use the most, because they are very natural to get. Because remember that we don't want Google to find out that we are doing, you know, SEO. So we also have like naked URLs, which is basically, they look like this. Or you can add like, if you want, or the URL. And this is also pretty important, because it also gives you some diversity in your anchor text. Because the ones that we don't want too much is exact match anchor texts, which is basically, let's say you want to rank, you were here and you take like this and you use this as an anchor text like all the time, because Google is obviously going to see that you're adding your links yourself. So we want a mix of this. We want branded, we want naked, we want exact match. We can also use something that is like semi-match, where you kind of use like mix branded with an exact match. We also want like the misc ones, which is basically like click here, like these ones. So branded ones should be about like 50% of your links. Naked ones could be like, this is like very loose numbers, could be like 25%. And the exact match should, according to me, only be used like once per URL, and very sparingly, like maybe like 5 to like 7%, and then like rest here. So I just wanted to show you like what the distribution I would use when I'm sending like backlinks to my website. That it's very important to go slowly and go safely, because otherwise you will get a penalty and then you lose everything you worked for. So yeah, so I'm just trying to buy time here. We can actually go back to here and we can check the anchors. So yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not going to go through this now, because it's not enough. There's not enough like backlink structure for me to actually be able to understand anything here. Next time I do one of these, maybe I'm going to take a website that already have like a lot of traffic, maybe to do another type of audit, to be able to tell them also the good things they're doing. And I also want to say that like, this is not a bad website at all. It has a lot of potential. It has like aged, domain is aged, and yeah, I think it's going to be a great domain. And also this guy is in the community. So he has everything going for him in order to succeed, because everyone in the community is amazing. But this takes forever. Okay, so it's finalizing here. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to go to GT metrics, because it's also a great tool to use to see like the performance of a website. It's like a third-party tool, so it's obviously not going to be perfect, but it can actually help you when it comes to like finding like things. It's also going to show you your like loading speed, like time to first byte, which is a very important metric. And time to first byte all comes down to like your hosting. And where you have like servers, you should have like a DNS that is close to you. So that's why I always recommend to use Cloudflare, because it's an amazing free service. So let's see here. Yeah, I mean, everything looks great here actually. No cumulative layout shift. And this is basically because the site is so thin, it doesn't have anything on it yet. So that's why I want to have like a page with like a lot of like information on it, to actually do like a fair try. But so far, I think this website is going to do great in the future. So let's go back here. And now we're finished. And now we can see the overview. It has an excellent overview. Obviously, we want to go through all of the errors. I mean, the warnings are fine unless we want to fix them, but the errors are most important. And the thing is, the reason why this one took so long is because it has so many URLs, and I don't really understand why. It has so many URLs, so the person that owns this website had to clean up all of these URLs, and that is going to take a long time. So maybe hire someone to do this, because it's not normal for a page to have this many URLs. You see, it has like some 404 pages. This one doesn't exist. Yeah, It doesn't exist. So all of these, I would take them and just redirect them to the homepage. Bluff. Or maybe something else. If you have a new page about like Bitcoin, maybe this is a casino, so maybe not. I would take all of these and redirect them to the homepage, and then all of these errors is going to go away. Easy, easy. These are the same ones. I don't know really actually the difference. But then you have some more errors like this one. It has broken links. And this is something that is super easy to fix. You just go to the page, you find this link, and these are the same ones. So if you fix the first error, these one are going to redirect back to the homepage. I mean, obviously I would go here and just like remove these links and like try to figure out why they're not existing anymore, or just like remove them. Easy fix, actually. This is something that I would actually, like I said before, try to find why it's like this, because this is like canonical, so I would fix whatever page this is. So here we have image file size too large. So let's see how big their images are. This is a pretty big image. You'd never need to have an image this big. You could have it like way smaller, like this. Depending on where you have it, but like this is never a need to have this big image. Let's see here. This one is also like huge. Yeah. It's a very huge image. I would never use this one either. We basically, and you have to make it smaller yourself, like in Canva or in Photoshop or something. I mean, it's not that big, but I would obviously just make it fit links to large images. Something I also do with my images is I remove like the date of uploads. You can do this in WordPress to make the links a bit smoother, and also hide from Google when the image was posted. I don't know if that makes any difference, but for me, this is something I did. I removed like the date from the links. Image broken. Yeah. I mean, basically, it doesn't have that many issues, actually. I mean, obviously, maybe I would go through like these ones, H1 tag missing or empty. I would go through all of this. This is like easy to fix. Like it's missing like an H1 tag somewhere. It's missing an H1 tag. I was just like add something here. Where are we? I would add this word as an H1 like up here. I would do it to all of these because it's important to have. So I would actually go through all of these ones. Title too long. This is the meta title that is going to show in the search results. So keep this one under like 60 or whatever. Yoast SEO has like a tool that is going to show you if it's too long. So make this one shorter. I think this URL is also way too long. I would never use it like this long. I would probably take maybe I would stop it here. Even then it's too long. Maybe I would use these 4 words or 5 or whatever it is. I don't know French, but I would make it shorter. I mean, you cannot do this afterwards because then you're going to lose the page rank. So don't change this afterwards. But I would never like make an URL like this long. Let's see, meta description, the same thing here. Make it shorter. Here it's too short, which basically means that there's no of them. Same here with like a meta description tag, missing or empty. I actually don't really know what this is. Slow page, 204 slow pages. I don't really know why it says it's slow. Oh, wow. I didn't find these pages before. Where are they hiding? What the fuck? What is this? I mean, this looks great. I would for sure keep it like this. I really like this content. Here you have some great links to the bonus terms and to support and cashier. Okay, take back a lot of things I said before because this looks great. Interview with a player. All right. I mean, I don't think they interviewed a player, but yeah, this is a great review actually. Get your bonus back. Oh, this one is like weirdly translated. Oh, that's what I mean with the translation things. Like you just like changes the meaning, like get your bonus back. I don't mean what this means. This is like recoup your bonus, I guess. I don't really know what they're using the word recoup, but it probably just makes sense. So like all of these things looks great. Oops. Yeah, look great. This is what I really like. Keep it like this. Keep a page like this, add a comparison table. I love the font combinations here also. I actually even like this. Happy Go Casino. Doesn't really have any SEO purpose, but yeah. Looks great. Let's see about the keywords we have here. We have the casino. Don't really have, I guess this is the H1 then. Yeah, this is the H1 for Happy Hugo Casino. So I guess all of these are, that's why there's so many URLs. I mean, some of them are still empty, but like Binance slots. Yeah, amazing. This looks perfect. I really like this. This is probably why it has some traffic. I mean, I don't know why it says that it has like slow pages. But I think it has something to do probably with the images being too big, something like this. So I will fix that. I don't actually really know why it's like this, but maybe it's the hosting. I don't know what hosting this person is using, but I would probably like change it. So yeah. Okay, everybody. Say goodbye to Monsieur Bonus and maybe check in a couple of weeks or months and see what this guy is doing with the site. And hopefully maybe he got some good help from this video. I think it's super long. It's a long video, but yeah, it was fun to make. And also, like I said, if you want to have your own free like audit like this, just become one of the 2 members that join after I release this video, and I'm gonna give you a free one. Mainly because I think this is really fun, and also I like to have members in the community. So yeah, we finished with this audit, and if you want your own audit, like a free one, be sure to be one of the 2 people that joins the community after this video is released. So if I make an audit for you, I'm going to record it the same way, and I'm going to send it to you privately. So check out the school community I created. The link is in the description, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye.